Welcome to the Back Nine Six Pack with Mitch and Justin. Let's roll.
Hello and welcome to episode 143 of the Back Nine Six Pack. Tonight we're going to be going through a little bit of our golf 2026 PGA Championship recap before we head over to the patio for Patio Beers. My name is Mitch, joined as always by my esteemed colleague Justin. I'm going to go ahead and get out front and apologize for my voice tonight. It is, I had nasal surgery on Friday, for those who don't know. And it comes and goes depending on where the mucus is in my sinuses and or throat. So we're doing it live here. I have no idea what's going to happen.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, I should be doing most of the talking tonight, but you know, we'll try to get through this. I don't think anybody's going to complain, to be honest with you. I probably sound like shit every week, so there we go.
I was going to say, most people would probably tell you that, listen, they don't want to hear more Justin. So
yeah,
sorry in advance for that too, I guess.
Yeah, they already, everybody that I know that listens, I'm sure there's others that we don't know that listen, but at least the ones I know that listen that I know already hear my voice way too much. So
yeah. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see how this all shakes out. I feel like this surgery in the long run is going to be a good thing, but man, nothing like just getting your nose sliced open and having some splints, put up in there, and I had those ripped out today. Oh, felt so good.
Well, you know, what's funny is like the nose is like a very sensitive area.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't take much for you like to feel a decent amount of pain in that area, which probably makes it like that much worse.
Yeah, it's today. Like I said, today I got the splints taken out, and that was a big relief. It got like all the pressure kind of came out when those came out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like if I like touched my nose any way possible, it was like that jolt, like all across your face. You know?
Oh God,
it's painful stuff.
Oh,
but yeah, I don't know. We're on the path to healing. Doctor says I should be like 100% by the end of next week. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, we're glad you're here. We're glad you're here tonight. Toughing it out.
Yeah, toughen it out. Yeah, on that note, let's go ahead, subscribe, rate, review the show, please. Follow us on social media at Back96Pack. Shoot us some fan mail. Let me know if you've had a septoplasty. I'd love to hear about your journey through this. A little bit of our golf right off the bat. League night last week. You were back. Played pretty well, right?
Yeah, played good. Didn't do anything fancy. Kind of, hit a decent amount of greens. Made a couple putts, 2-putted everything else. I mean, that's really kind of 3-putted my last hole, which kind of stunk. Didn't get up and down for birdie on 9, which was my second to last hole. It could have easily been 4 under, ended up being 2 under. But I hit the ball pretty good. Can't complain. I was just happy to be back. Had a pretty good group too. Had some I'm diving into some like older artists, so it was like it felt good to be out there. I was on Bob Dylan, so I was like listening to some Bob Dylan, playing some golf. It got a little windy at the end, though. I'm not gonna lie.
It got cold late. Definitely got cold late. Yeah, I had a great pairing. Shout out to Joe. Him and I rode together. I shot 42 with 3 doubles, and 2 of the 3 doubles were from the center of the fairway. So can't have that. That's where we went wrong on Wednesday.
So did you get off the tee better though?
I
know that's like kind of what's been hindering you right now. It's not anything else. It's just the tee ball.
Yeah, I hit some pretty good tee shots. The one double was truly bad. It was on 2, and I had like a flip wedge into the green, and I put it in the water. Just the wind got me, and I was just kind of leaked right a little bit. So that was bad. And then the other double was on 5. I nuked a drive past the bunker and wound up making a double. I got unlucky on my shot coming in. I tried to hit the green in 2. I hit the top of the tree, kicked back, and was on a root under the tree.
Yeah, that's not great.
A little bit of that, but then I 3-putted on top of it. So it was
the compounding mistakes.
That was one of that hole was, I was honestly in good shape and kind of like managing the round until that bad break happened. And then I was just like, man, fuck this. And then I just got pissed and I just gave the next hole I doubled too. So yeah, that's the way it goes. So yeah, but I did hit driver better. Just some really like I said, a bad break and then some compounding mistakes that were were not good for me.
But all in all, we're back in league. I will not be there this week, unfortunately.
Me
Actually, I
either.
won't be there the next 2 weeks. I'm out this week. I got an event on Wednesday, and then I'm out next week for vacation. So after that, I should be pretty steady for Wednesdays, but yeah, not the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm going to heal up this week. I'm going to play next week, but then the week after we have our golf trip. I'm not going to play that week before we leave for 4 days. So that's
I'm going to test the waters. I am. Especially because I can't go 3 weeks in a row without playing.
You're just chumming your own waters is what you're doing.
Yeah, it feels like a lot. Yeah, so we're gonna try. I want to. The problem is like I feel like you miss like 3 or 4 weeks. You kind of put yourself behind the 8-ball. Not that we're gonna win the league or anything, or we're expecting to win, but you kind of just don't have a chance if you miss like 4 weeks. Like,
yeah,
I've already missed 1. I'm gonna miss 2 more. I'm like, it's kind of one of those things. I'm like, I got to find a way to play that week so I don't miss 4 early on.
Yeah, for me, it's like I just hate like when we go. I'm grateful to go take a trip, of course, but like it sucks when you just don't have that many rounds going into it, and then you're like, all right, I'm gonna go play this cool course, and here, and hopefully I break 90 today, like that kind of thing.
I can tell you, the one course we're playing, buddy, you better figure out the tee ball, and you better figure it out fast. Like,
we might just be going 7-wood off the tee if it comes to that.
That's the problem. You really can't do that out there. It's not exactly short. So even if you play the right, tee box, right? The tee box you should be playing. It's not a short course. So,
all right.
The only thing you can hope is if it gets a little firm, you maybe can get some roll. Maybe you could tuck the driver back in a little bit on a few holes, but we gotta get this driver figured out before we play the foul course on June 6th. So
I think I just got to commit to truly like I'm gonna play a cut or something. You know what I mean? Like I need to like eliminate one of the 2 misses. I can't be doing this 2-way miss thing still.
No, yeah. If you can get it to one side, that would be ideal.
Yeah, I need to just start picking sides and playing that shot instead of let me aim down the center and hope it. It does the right thing, right? Like that never works out.
Exactly.
All right. Well, I know you and Jared played in the Four-Ball Championship at Coldstream Country Club today, right?
We did. Yeah.
Scramble today.
Scramble today. What's funny is like this is our 4th. I think we figured out it's our 4th year together in this. In the scramble format, we just never play well. Like we hit the ball fine today. We kind of gave ourselves chances. It's never good when you walk off 9. You're like, man, we probably should have been like 4 or 5 under on that side. And it wasn't like, oh, we missed some 25 footers, right? It was like we missed like 3 putts inside 12 feet. And you're kind of like, God, even if we could get like 1 or 2 of those to go, it probably feels a little different. Make the turn. We eagled 10. They had the tees up. They apparently had a wedding there on Saturday. So there was like a tent off to the side of like one tee box, like up and off to the side. So they had to move the tee box up. So it didn't play long as normal, and it was way downwind. I hit a pretty good drive, hit a 6-iron to about 20 feet. Jared made the putt. But then we had a 3 putt on our next hole, which if you know Coldstream, I mean, the greens are gigantic, right? So if you don't, I mean, especially, this was a 200-yard par 3 directly back into the wind. Jared hit a good shot, just kind of rolled out on him. We had 60 feet. We both blew it by like 25 feet coming back down the hill. Had a 3 putt. Then after that, we had some pars, couple birdies coming in. Ended up shooting 4 under, which if it kind of felt like that was our worst score we could have shot. Like, to be just the way we kind of hit the ball and really not making any putts on the front, it felt like our worst score for sure. But we had fun. We always have fun. And shout out to the guys we played with. And we don't shout out many other podcasts on this, but the GCGA does have a podcast, our Greater Cincinnati Golf Association, that's called Second Shot All-American Podcast. Go check it out. They've got some really good guests. We played with those guys today, Tom and Phil. Awesome pairing. Really, really good guys. Phil used to be the golf coach at Mount St. Joe. But they're really, really cool guys. Definitely go check that out. he's got some interest in whether I won our draft or not, because they do listen to ours as well. So no, we had fun. And Coldstream, dude, Coldstream I'd put it up against any course in Ohio. It is a grind. Like, it is there's no guarantee birdie. There's no, there's no swings off. Like, you make a bad swing, you're penalized. Like, not penalizing like, oh, you're at a hazard, but like, you're not going to make the score you think you're going to make, right? And the biggest thing out there, and this is probably after I've probably played Coldstream 8 or 9 times over the last 3 years. You get in the rough with how firm they kind of like to keep the greens. You have no chance. Zero. I don't care if you have a 60-degree wedge in your hand. Almost zero shot to get stuff close. Especially because it gets so windy out there. They cut down a lot of trees in their last renovation. But man, that course it's phenomenal. I love. You know how you play good courses and you're like, I don't know if I could play that every day. It's cool to get out here and play, but I don't know if I could play. I could play Coldstream every single day. I mean, it beats your brains in, but like, you're eventually going to become a better golfer. You know what I mean? So
yeah, definitely a course you've had your battles with over the years, just doing the podcast alone. I can think of a few moments.
Yeah, well, I hit this. What hole was that? 12, the infamous bunker that I fell into. That's out there in, couple pair of 88s, different tournaments, pair of 88s out there. But I've had some good scores out there too. So it's like, it's kind of one of those things. Like, it truly is a good test of golf when you can get a range of scores like that, right? Like, I've shot 88 out there. I've shot 73 out there. Like, it kind of just depends on like how tight is your game, right? Like, if it's not tight, it's going to expose you. If it's pretty tight, like, it does reward good shots, right? Like, it's not all big bad golf course kind of thing. So, but I'm excited. We got another day tomorrow. I think tomorrow's best ball, which we always seem to play better in than scramble, but definitely going to be a test tomorrow for sure.
Are you totally out of it? Like, what's leading right now?
So I think 10 under's leading right now. I want to say maybe 11. It's funny. We talked about this last year. It was, going in the best ball. It was like, man, and Jared actually qualifies for the senior division this year. But we always kind of talked about it. Like, look, you get college kids out here. Like, if we can come top 10, we are thrilled. Like, we definitely have a chance to still do that with a good score tomorrow. The scores were shockingly low for the scramble, given the wind. But best ball, when you can't just wail on shots or hit shots at pins because your partner's on the green, it kind of changes things a little bit. And that's definitely not a course that you want to just be like, all right, I'm in my pocket, because like, you have one ball out there, something. You might get away with it a couple of times, but something's bound to go wrong eventually playing that kind of game out there in best ball. But yeah, so we're probably out of it to win it, but like, our goal of another top 10, like we did last year, is it's definitely within reach for us. So
yeah, I will say, like, just playing the club events and even hosting the Turkey Open, I feel like best ball always surprises me that it often scores lower than scrambles.
It can, yeah.
Like, surprisingly to me,
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Maybe it's our course. I don't know.
It could be. I would say, and it's funny, I think last year I want to say people played better in best ball at Four Bridges than they did the scramble. I think, I'm guessing here, but I would say Coldstream's the exact opposite. Like,
probably, yeah.
Because it's going to demand pretty good shots from both players, not just like, oh, we just need one of these to be up there and we'll go hit from the next spot kind of thing. Not saying it's easy doing that, scramble format, but best ball, you can easily get in. You could both hit good drives, and then after your second shots, be easily staring bogey right in the face, like pretty quickly with a couple, wayward, second shots. So, and some of this, it's funny. They're big greens, but some of the ways like the bunkers kind of come in, it makes some of the approach shots, you're like, man, it doesn't look like a big area to land this ball. And then you kind of get up there, you're like, oh, well, it's not that bad, but it makes you think about it when you're hitting that shot. You're like, oh,
Sure.
man, it's not a big landing area. And then you kind of get up there, you're like, actually, it's pretty big. So, but I'm looking forward to it. I always love playing Coldstream, and I can't wait. After tomorrow, I don't know when I'm going to get back, but I can't wait. So.
Nice. Well, yeah, good shooting to you guys. I'll try to track follow along while you guys are out there for sure. I guess no good trade. Anything else on our golf front here?
No, only thing I would say, I'm gotta give notables here. Joe Early our guy Joe played in it. I think they shot 6 under. Him and his partner. Our guy Kyle Hodges is. I think they're in second, tied for second at 9 under. He played with a guy named Jeff Sullivan. They played pretty good today. So shout out to those guys. Kyle and Jeff definitely have a shot at bringing it home. They're in the last group. So
nice. Yeah, good on those guys. Especially, I mean, special shout out to like you and Joe. Like, I just respect that you guys get out there and play. Like, it's something I've always wanted to do, but never either time or just not really feeling like my game's up to par. Like, I've never done it, so I got to find one of these years just to get out and do something one time. So
competition golf is just. It's the best, but it's just such a different animal. Like,
yeah,
it's even different than like, look, I'm known to go out and play some decent sized money games. Right. But that's a different kind. To me, that's not even really pressure, right? That's just like, oh, am I going to have to pay a couple $100 today or not? Like, tournament golf is the absolute best. And I will tell you, if you're stuck on a wall of like, I'm not really getting any better, a lot of people get to that point where they're like shooting 78s to 82s and they're like, I'm not really getting better. I promise you, if you go just play, you don't have to play in like, like our city stuff. You don't have to play in that. Like, go find a club championship to play in. Like, even if you're not a member at a course, every course around us has club championships, even if it's not a like private course. Go find one of those. Go play against, sometimes a lot of those get 16 to 20 guys in them. Go play in those. Like, I'm telling you, you'll become a better golfer because of it. So,
yeah, there's just something, like you said, there's a different pressure to when you have to like sign your name to a score,
Yeah, right.
It just is.
and you could probably attest to this. Like, you've not played a ton of competition golf. We have our club events, but like just our club events has probably made you a better golfer as far as like thinking your way around a golf course and like really trying to, work, essentially not have a blow up hole. You're really thinking around your round of golf. I bet I almost guarantee you think you're better at that.
Definitely. 100%.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess last thing on the Our Golf front, Junior Golf League or PGA Junior League starts next week.
Yeah. Yeah, you're going to be on your own for the first week, but we'll be back.
Yeah,
that'll be our range sessions together, maybe.
Yeah, we'll have to try to get ourselves dialed while the kids are out there doing their thing. But yeah, I'm excited to get out there. With Zach's excited. That probably means I need to go buy his golf shoes this weekend. But yeah, it's going to be fun for sure.
And a lot of commercial for that.
I was going to say, everybody saw the commercials this weekend for that. If you watched, it's a good transition to the PGA Championship. Gosh, I don't have a lot to say about the score, like the leaderboard here, but we can just quickly. Aaron Rai won 9 under. Felt like the one guy that just like actually did something coming down the stretch, and therefore he won. A lot of big names that just didn't do anything come the weekend. Rahm finished in a tie for second with Alex Smalley. JT made a big move on Sunday. It was kind of fun tracking to see if he could hang on until Rai pulled away. JT, Ludwig, and Matty Schmidt finished in T4. T7, Cam Smith had a wild run halfway through Sunday and could not find a fairway to save his life. It was truly relatable golf out of Cam Smith. He was all over that golf course and still making birdies. He finished in a tie for 7th with Rory and Xander, who just were stagnant all day Sunday. Kurt Kitayama, T10, another guy that made a big run on Sunday, and he was there with Chris Goddard, Justin Rose, and Patrick Reed. Okay, that was saying a lot. Long list of notables before we get talking about the tournament. T14 for Scotty and Matt Fitzpatrick. Scotty just couldn't make a putt. Matt made a nice Sunday charge. T18 for Spieth. He's never going to make a putt again, apparently. T26 for Cam Young was apparently sick. I don't know. I've seen rumors. T55 for Brooks and T60 for Ricky. Those are two guys that were kind of there and then just like nuked themselves on Sunday. And then last but not least, we're going to give a shout out to Ben Kern, who finished in 80th. He beat two pros this week.
Hell
Ben
yeah.
Ben Kern is from the Southern Ohio PGA club from Hickory Hills Golf Club in Grove City, Ohio. So yeah, he made the cut. He was the only the only teaching pro to make the cut this year. So yeah, shout out to him for sure. He beat Michael Brennan.
I've met him a couple times just playing in some Southern Ohio PGA stuff. The nicest guy. Like,
yeah,
super cool. I mean, kind of see it. He's got like sleeve tattoos. Like he's like an Ohio guy. Like he's like the prototypical like Southern Ohio guy. Like, but he's super nice guy. Couldn't happen to a better person, to be honest with you. Like, God love Blocky, right? Blocky's got a big head now. That has not been like at all like the furthest from it. They're complete opposites.
Yeah, Ben shot 67 on Friday to make the cut, which is really cool. He beat Michael Brennan and Brian Campbell. Those are the two professionals he beat out, along with everybody that missed the cut, which included the aforementioned Blocky. Michael Blocky shot 70 in the first round and like had this big media moment where he's like, "You're pretty good, dude." And then he went out and missed the cut the next day, so that was a little bit tough. Tommy Fleetwood missed the cut. Russell Henley, Victor Hovland, Tyrrell Hatton, and Bryson DeChambeau all missing the cut, which is kind of saying something because like 86 guys made the cut. So
a lot. That's a lot tough to make the cut. Jeez, Pete.
Super bunch leaderboard. Do you want to talk course or do you want to talk our little draft?
Let's talk about the course because I think it's getting the hate. I don't. Where do we start with that? Because.
Well, I had a note in here. The setup has been getting roasted, so just like general thoughts on the setup. From what do you think,
man? So this is where I have the problem with some people that criticize setups and how the tournament shakes out, and then like the first instinct is like just to blame it on the course. Like I don't know. I mean. We don't play many Donald Rosses. I think it's fun to watch these guys play greens like that. They don't really get a test like that from a green standpoint, week in and week out. A lot of these modern courses just don't have the ridge lines and things like that Donald Ross setups do. You could see that. Smiley Kaufman did a really good number on it. I think on 14, he had a putt and it literally like he moved it like 6 inches left and right, and it like broke different ways based on moving it like 6 and 7 inches left and right. I don't think that the leaderboard is an indication that it was a bad setup. I think that it leaned towards like a guy like Aaron Rai that doesn't really hit the ball that far, that is a little more accurate. Yeah, but that doesn't make it a bad setup. You know what I mean? I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's the course's fault. I do think the PGA probably has a little bit of blame in the actual setup. Specifically, I think the pin locations, because
that is probably something to be said there. Yeah,
I just don't think that they made them so extreme that guys just like weren't willing to take the risks to get balls close, and so what you just saw was like a lag putting contest for the whole weekend, and that's what made the leaderboard bunch because there weren't a lot of bogeys, there weren't a lot of birdies, right? It was just a lot of 2 putts for pars, stuff like that. And then you'd have these awesome segments like you'd have, like you just said with Smiley, he's showing the break of the putts or whatever. Ken Brown was out there all weekend. He'd like show you like what the pin position was doing, where those slopes were, if a ball lands here, what it does, if it lands there, what it does. But then none of that stuff like actually happened in the tournament.
Yeah.
Because guys were just like, you know what, I'm going to hit it 25 feet right, and then hopefully I run a putt in.
Yeah.
So I think that because of the weather they got, with the wind they got, especially the first 2 days, I think they just went a little overboard on pin locations is really what it came down to.
And I think we've talked about this on here. I think the PGA Championship living in that, like, how can we get the winner between 12 and 15 under, I think is like kind of their window. Yeah. Maybe not as high as 15. I'd say like 10 to 14. I think they almost hit that window. I do think I would agree. The setup was so extreme from a pinpoint or pin placement standpoint that, yeah, like guys that are playing decent, like if 10 of the pins are like impossible or really hard, like they're going to take their chances on 8 of those other holes and just hit the ball to the middle of the green or hit it 25 feet left or right and just take their par and get to the holes that they think they can score on. They're just too good at golfers, not especially when you get in the weekend. Like those guys are the ones playing the best, right? Like I'm sure you saw some crazy shit happen like Thursday and Friday, with some guys not playing very well. But when you get to the weekend, these guys are playing well enough. Clearly they made the cut that you're not going to see anything like they're not going to take too much risk and bring like, a gigantic false front into play where it rolls back 60 yards down the fairway, right? Like it's just, they're not going to take that chance.
Right. Yeah. I think the other thing too that kind of stinks is like, and I don't know, this is just my perception. I watched a lot of this because I was laid up in bed a lot. I never felt like the crowd was really in it or like there. You heard a lot of Eagles chants and stuff like that on tee shots or whatever, but like they'd zoom out and show like the course, and I'm like, where are the people? There's like not that many grandstands.
Well, so I this is not, I don't know this for a fact. My guess is it is a smaller venue. It's not your Quail Hollows. It's not your Valhallas. Like they can't fit as many people in there in general, period. But I would say that probably has something to do with it. Like just can't offer as many tickets because it's not set up for the like 200,000, 300,000 people. I think the day we went to the PGA Championship at Valhalla, there was like, I saw an announcement. It was like 290,000 people at that event that day. It's like insane. It was like going to like, it was like bringing the people for like 3 major college football games into a course. But that place is gigantic. I mean, you probably could have fit 500,000 there but like, I don't think this place was that. Like, I don't think you could. So that maybe that was part of it. Like, just a lack of tickets. I do think I've talked to somebody that goes to the Memorial a lot. They're not selling as many tickets to their event this year. Like, not like they're not offering, like there's just not as many people buying tickets. So who knows what that means? I mean, maybe people are just kind of getting, they've kind of done the whole live golf event and they're kind of like maybe moving on. Some of these, especially these newer golf fans. I don't know.
It could be. I mean, like sometimes the easiest answer is the answer. It could just be the economy, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, we know what our tickets cost at Valhalla. They weren't cheap. I mean, it does include food and drinks and non-alcoholic beverages, but it's not cheap, and it's not a cheap trip. Like we had to drive an hour and a half. We had to get a place to stay. Like all in all, we played golf for the one day. All in all, it's like, man, that was a quick $1,000 trip. Like I played one round of golf. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I think you could just chalk it up to that. Like gas is $5 a gallon, and the extra $290 can't go towards a PGA Championship ticket. That could easily be it too. So
yeah. I don't know. I think I had another question here. Like, what will you remember most about this tournament? Because it feels pretty forgettable to me.
Man, I would probably say like I always like pros playing on Donald Ross courses just because they don't get to see them much. That might be about it. Other than that, it's pretty forgettable. I mean, not a lot of you had this bunched leaderboard, and then all of a sudden we had a guy win by 3. That kind of sucks. Like, at least if you're going to give us a bunched leaderboard, like, can we get like a 4-way playoff or first place or something like that? So
yeah, I struggle to think of something I'm going to remember most. It just feels the whole thing just felt very juiceless to me, which is sad because I was really excited about the course. Like you said, I'd love to see these guys on a Ross and challenge them a different way, but the stack leaderboard, there wasn't a lot of up and down movement. The holes became predictable, what guys were going to do. Like it just, I don't know. And even the broadcast was very sleepy for me too.
Yeah.
It felt like another PGA Tour event. Like I don't know. I don't know how to put my finger on it, but I just know that it was not as good as I was hoping.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it kind of sucks. I mean, obviously I think for anybody, the PGA Championship's the 4th best major, right? But it's still a major. And to me, it's like, I started thinking back, I'm like, I got like more worked up about the Players this year than I did the PGA Championship, right? So it's like, you know, I don't know.
That's what worries me. It's like, a lot of people say, like, should the Players be the 5th major? It might be the 4th major.
It might be the 4th major. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not fair, though, because when the Players happens, everybody's just, like, ready to get back into golf mode.
Yeah.
And, like, we're well in the golf season at this point. And, I think people make the decision sometimes, too. Like, do I stay home and watch this golf, or do I pass on an 80-degree day? And it's like,
yeah.
I think a lot of people choose golf, actually go play than to sit inside and watch. So,
yeah, I mean, I think it was better for the golf calendar for the PGA to move to May, but it was probably worse for the PGA.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I thought it was way better being in August. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like,
PGA, at least.
At least then it had like a thing where it was like, oh, the last major, you know what I mean? Like it was
last chance. Yeah, I think that's what they used to advertise it as, right? Like the last chance to get a major that year. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. And the problem is they'll never take it back to that because the playoffs, they can't do it. So,
yeah, I don't know. This is next year they're going to Frisco too, which is like, I worry that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I worry that we're going to get into a bad rhythm here.
It's the low T venue for major golf. Like,
I'm scared about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be very good, but we'll see. Maybe it'll surprise us.
It'll be fine when Jordan wins in Texas, and all will be forgiven. So
yeah, right. That's the only way it makes it worth it, to be honest. So
yeah. All right. Much anticipated auction draft results for everybody. That was, I showed up at League Wednesday night, and I had like 4 different people telling me that you absolutely like put me in a body bag during this draft.
I've heard that many a times, and to be frank, I think so. I think you probably owe some to John Rahm here, is my guess.
I do owe a lot to John Rahm, who you basically backed me in a corner of taking. I didn't even want, so that was, a thing. Ricky Fowler and Brooks Koepka did me 0 favors. That was looking like a possible promising help. Tyrrell Hatton missed the cut for me. My wild card, Tommy Fleetwood, no-showed. That inevitably undid me because I did beat you in total on our base picks, but your wild card just so happened to be Justin Thomas, who made a huge charge on Sunday. So final points wise, I had 28 to your 23, but you had a wild card pick up 12 points to take you to 35. So you beat me by 7.
2-0 in I love the auction drafts.
Yeah. So I heard a little bit about this from people, and because we were talking last time about like, the first one we had too much money. The second one was like, okay, well now it turned into like, we got in trouble because I needed to pick players and you were already done.
Yeah.
So, it was suggested to me that like maybe we go with like sort of like a DraftKings pricing format where we have a salary cap.
Yeah.
And we can kind of pick players that way.
Tier them. Yeah.
Yeah, but it would still be a draft so that like we can't pick the same guys either.
Yeah.
So we'll take that under consideration, under advisement here for the US Open. But yeah, that honestly a better result than I was anticipating when I went into the spreadsheet to total the scores. I was very nervous you just waxed me.
It was definitely closer than I thought. A lot of that because of John Rahm. What's funny is I almost went back to the Chris Gotterup wild card pick that I had in the Masters.
Yeah.
I think it would have probably shaken out about the same if I had taken Chris. So
yeah, he finished in 10th, so JT definitely helped you, but it would have been, you still would have won, I think.
I think I still would have won, but it definitely would have been closer had I taken Gotterup again.
Yeah.
But no, I like the auction style, and definitely some changes coming to that. But yeah, I don't hate maybe doing, some kind of tiered pricing with a salary cap.
Yeah, I think that might just prevent us from, getting these runs.
Prevent me from going 3-0 in the U.S. Open.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. I think more just not having it be where like I'm just picking random guys for whatever price I choose at the end or whatever. But yeah, we'll figure it out. Anything else on the PGA?
No. I after we're done with this, I do want to hit on what I did on Thursday and then give a shout out to the LPGA.
Oh yeah, let's go ahead and talk about that now.
So we went out, busted my kids out of school. Went out on Thursday. Macatiwa here in Cincinnati. Again, another Donald Ross. You can definitely tell that these players just don't play this style of golf or greens at least. But man, we sat behind 9 and 18, which crazy enough at Makatiwa, 9 and 18 are both par threes. Nine's about 200-yard par three, 210 depending. And then 18's like about 100, and I think they played it at like about 150. Pretty interesting finishes to the nines, but man, we saw like 15 three putts in our time behind both greens. Like it's amazing to watch these players who, again, these are the best female golfers in the world, struggle to read greens like this. And so I think setup was great. I think 12 under won it. It was I think it was a fair test. I mean, they probably don't necessarily want that for like a regular event. But the cool thing about Makatiwa, especially with kids and like I have a 5-year-old, you don't really have to walk that far to like see a bunch of golf. You can kind of like walk, 150 yards of the clubhouse and see a ton of like 3 or 4 holes in like a little area. Like you go up behind one green, you can see like 4 holes from there. You can go over to like 13 green, which is like probably 200 yards from the clubhouse. You can see like 3 or 4 holes in that little area. So it was a cool setup in that. And shout out to the women, man. They are like the most fan friendly athletes that I've ever been around. And this is like my 3rd time probably going to an LPGA event. They're the most fan friendly, and it's not even remotely close. Like they're engaging with the kids. They go above and beyond essentially, and I think that's really cool, especially having girls. I know you've got boys, but like having girls, it's cool to see like, now my girls like know golfers and stuff like that. We got the chance to see Charlie Hall. We saw Nelly Korda, Lydia Ko. Like we saw all the big names were out there. So shout out to Makatiwa. I think they did a fantastic job at hosting the event, and shout out to the LPGA. I think they put on really, really good events, and I think they try to branch out into other courses. And I think Makatiwa's got it one more year. I think they're going back there next year. I think they signed a 2-year contract. But man, I kind of hope it sticks there. I thought it was a cool place to have a golf tournament. So
yeah, I mean, it's honestly like shout out to LPGA. I mean, bring like you just said, the stars were there, right? Like they're coming to Cincinnati,
Yeah.
Like it. I don't know, it's impressive.
And we are like Cincinnati's thirsty for professional golf. Like we've got a lot of good golf fans here. We don't have a PGA Tour event, mostly because the Memorial. Like if we didn't have the Memorial, Cincinnati might have a chance at getting something, or the surrounding area. But the problem is the Memorial, like you kind of just run out of time on the golf schedule to have a tournament, 2 tournaments in like Ohio. But I would tell you, the fans they're thirsty for professional golf, and if I actually don't mind that we have it's a better fan experience in a PGA Tour tournament for sure.
Yeah, I'm sad I haven't been able to go the last few years. I think it's what they started this tournament back up probably 4 years ago, maybe.
I think, let's see, 22, I believe, was the first year they had it, and it was at Kenwood. And then they moved to TPC maybe it was Kenwood for 2 years and then TPC for 2 years. This might be the 5th year, maybe. No, it was the 4th year. It was the 4th year. Yeah. So it was Kenwood, TPC twice, and then back out to Makatiwa. So, but yeah, shout out to LG. They super, really, really fun fan experience. And there was a lot of people out there. I was thinking like, what's going on Thursday? There won't be that many people. Yeah. It was pretty crowded. So, shout out to Cincinnati fans as well for kind of showing up and getting out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly, Cincinnati is an underrated golf city, and Ohio's an underrated golf state. Like, there's within like 4 or 5 hour drives, like all the places you can get from here. Like, you have crazy golf, it's insane. Golf craze area.
It's insane. Yeah, it's definitely undervalued from that standpoint. And seriously though, like we don't give enough. That's why I like women's golf sometimes, because like that tournament, like the Cincinnati tournament, right? Like if that is on a PGA Tour schedule, that turns into, what used to be called the Honda or whatever. Like you might get one big name, but dude, like, I mean, guy on the bus, he brought it up. I didn't even think about this, but he was like, he was talking to my kids and he's like, there's 2 gold medalists out here. And it's like, damn, there is. Like Lydia Ko's got one, Nelly Corda's got one. It's like the fact that they both show up to this tournament is kind of insane. So yeah, shout out to the women that just play and like make it a point to get to these events and actually like show up and play the event. So
yeah, it's awesome. I'm glad you guys got to do that for sure. Okay, I think it's time. I think we're heading over to the patio. I see you've got your shandy right there.
Yeah.
How's that tasting?
It tastes pretty good. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. We are almost out of shandy season, for the record. Like
I know
we're wounding down here. I think I've got about 5 left, and that will be it for the summer probably. Maybe through our trip. Maybe I'll do it through our trip.
Yeah, we'll have to see. It's like really a vibe check for me. I'll know it when I have it, if it's still shandy season or not. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's yeah. Well, here's my thing: is like I think when it gets to like above 85, it's not great.
No, you don't want that heavy sweetness on you.
It's a bit heavy. It is a bit heavy to be pounding them when it's like 90 degrees outside.
Yeah, it's a perfect like April and early May beer. That's perfect for that time of year. But yeah, once you hit June, usually I'm transitioning.
All right, I'm gonna go first. I got a really good question today. Probably gonna bring back some memories. So I don't know about your kids. My kids have 3 days of school left. What is your favorite memory from like wounding down like into school year? What is your favorite memory that you had from all of our 12 years, 13 years in school, wounding down the summer?
So it's funny because I have a similar question. We'll get to that. Man, I don't know. It's tough because like, you change so much from when you start school to when you graduate.
Yeah.
Like, what was really fun and cool when I was in second grade was probably vastly different than when I was a senior in high school kind of thing. I do think that like there was something cool like senior year, kind of like, like that feeling of like you accomplished something, like getting through high school and like you were kind of the, the stars of the show for the school or whatever, they're trying you out there for everything. And kind of just like that general vibe of like everybody's moving on for college. You're kind of saying goodbyes to some people you're sticking close with, that kind of thing. Like, I don't know. I have a little bit of nostalgia for that specific era of life where it's like you kind of were like you knew you were growing up and you were ready to move on to the next thing, but you were still kind of like living in the moment, until the end there, until you graduated.
Well, it's like, yeah, you had that like last summer, right? Like the last like right after your senior year in high school.
You go to all the grad parties, you're living it up with all your buddies before everybody heads out. And yeah, that was a good time.
To be honest, I thought summers as a college kid were like elite, but there was something about like that summer. It's like, you're like, man, it's like a couple months. Like, I went away for school. So it was like kind of one of those things, like a couple months, like I'm going to be away from school. I'll be at school and like, who knows when I'll be able to come home and stuff like that. Like you end up coming home more than you think, but it's kind of, yeah, I agree that's a good memory that like last couple days is you're kind of winding down your school, like your regular school career.
Yeah.
It is pretty good. Like we did, I don't know, did you take part in the parade, like the car parade or whatever that we had at Coleraine?
Probably. I don't specifically remember it, but I
don't specifically remember it either, but I feel like I have a picture like of me being there, but I don't like vividly remember being there. I don't know. At that point,
I don't vividly remember either.
No. I mean, but yeah, that's a good memory. Like that whole like, you're going in, you're essentially become an adult. You know what I mean? Like that's like you can track back to that of like, all right, like shit's about to get real. Like everything has like real life consequences at this point for the most part. Hell, you met your wife in high school. Like it definitely had real life consequences. Not to say that Susie's a consequence. I'm just saying like, you know what I mean? So,
yeah. I think too, like, I was always, and maybe this is the way that I was kind of raised or whatever, but my mom would always take us around back to our even like past teachers, not just a teacher we had this year. Like we'd give gifts or whatever and say thanks to like former teachers and all that at the end of the school year. And so like I can remember senior year going around with like the yearbook and stuff and having like my freshman year teacher that I really liked go sign it or whatever. And, kind of going back and just like, you spent 4 years here and had these different people in your lives and all that. And just kind of like saying thanks and doing all that stuff was just, I don't know. I just like like I said, I like the nostalgia of all of that.
For sure. Yeah. I'll tell you this, our district here where we both live, they do something I think is cool. It actually happened today. I saw pictures, which kind of made me think of this question, but they do like a parade of graduates. So you go back to every school that because we've got 27 schools or something like that in the district.
Yeah.
And you change schools a lot in our district. Like you go K through second, third through sixth, seventh and eighth, freshman year. You don't do seventh and eighth, but like your 2 grade schools. So like K through second, third through sixth, you go back to those schools and you do a parade like for the kids and the students. You got like kindergartners out there like clapping. I think it's cool because one is like, a kindergartner, like I have a kindergartner this year, like sitting there and it's like, she's got a sister starting 7th grade and it's like, it goes by quick. Like, I know it's kind of hard of discussion to have with like a 5-year-old, but it's like you're going to blink your eye and you're going to be that person walking through the hall. But I think it's cool to like, hey, like this is what you're working towards. Like, even if it's kindergarten or 1st grade or 3rd grade or 5th grade or whatever it is, like this is what you're working towards one day. I think it's a really cool, like a really cool thing they do at the end of the year here. We didn't have anything like that, but I did go back and see a couple of my teachers like near the end, like, hey, like I'm alive, like I'm not dead. You actually did okay, like given the circumstances, kind of thing. But no, that is cool. I'll tell you what, my favorite was like there was something about like the last couple days of school of like you've probably mailed it in for a couple weeks. But like now your teachers are like really mailed it in, like, and they visibly mailed it in because they can't act like that with like 3 weeks left, right? Like they can't show it. But when there's like 3 days left, they absolutely can show it. And you didn't notice it like until like probably like 5th or 6th grade. And then like, that's when you kind of like, oh man, she's so far, her head is so far into summer. Like you can pretty much get away with anything at that point, kind of thing. I always thought that was like, so fun to like kind of see like, all right, like adults act this way too, kind of thing. Like, their heads on the next week already. So
yeah, it's like you'd be lucky if you had gym at the end of the school year because then it's like 5 straight days of dodgeball. Yeah, that's all you're doing in class.
I think my senior year, I took strength and conditioning, and shout out to Coach Tom Bolden. He was my strength and conditioning coach. I want to say like the last 3 weeks we just like went in the gym and played basketball. Like there was no weight training going on. It was like, all right, just there's some balls over there. Don't do anything stupid, kind of thing. And like, it was, no, I always thought it was like kind of seeing the teachers kind of like not mailed. Yeah. Kind of mailed in a little bit. It was kind of always fun. It's like, they feel the same way, even though they can't verbally tell you that,
Right.
But yeah, my second one was kind of like that same thing. Like, I always thought it was cool to switch schools. You know what I mean? Like those transitions, mine was like 5th to 6th grade. And then, obviously 8th. Starting high school was a really cool time, I thought too.
Well, yeah. And you transferred halfway through high school. So
I did. I went to 2 high schools, but starting high school was so much fun. It was kind of like, you're like, oh, I'm bigger, I'm like, peeking on getting my license, and you get to start like high school athletics and all this stuff. You just got like more options for activities to do and things like that. So I always thought that was really cool as well, kind of making that transition from school to school. We're going through that this year, start middle school athletics next year for one kid. So I think it's seeing her kind of go through the transition is pretty cool.
Yeah, we're about to have 2 in school for the first time, so prayers up for your boy here.
Don't hate that, dude. I mean, hey, get him. I will tell you, as this my first year is no one in daycare. It's like all school.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but it does make your life like not slightly, a lot easier. Like a lot easier.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna be stuck with that for a bit longer here with little man on board here. But yeah, I can see how it definitely would help for sure.
But the problem is the emotions that come in the kids starting school is, from a wife perspective, is got to manage those,
See, okay, so you tell me about this. Like, do you feel it more with your oldest getting older, or is it seeing your youngest becoming
So
older?
I think I would have answered that question very differently prior to this year.
Yeah.
I think I would have answered it as like, dude, because like for me, when we had our first kid, like, dude, I was still essentially a dumb college kid. Like, I was 23
Yeah.
years old. Like, I was still kind of like freshly out of college. So like, I have memories with her of like, dude, I didn't know what I was doing. Like, I had no idea how to be a parent. So at the beginning, it was like, damn, dude, like she's getting old, and it's like, but man, there's something about like that last kid that you're just like I know you kind of like work to get to that point where you're like,
Yeah.
they're self-sustainable, but when you're like, God, dude, like she kind of doesn't like need me a lot, like a couple things
right.
here and there, but like there's something about like someone needing you to do something for them. That definitely hits a spot of like, all right, this kind of sucks a little bit, they need
it's
you
like
for so long, and it's like, for us, it was like for 12 years, someone's needed us, like absolutely, we were a necessity in their life. But like, other than me getting her down to the bus stop, which I'm convinced she could probably do on her own at this point, at almost 6 years old, she don't really need a lot from me. So that's
Right.
a little hard to deal with. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like two sides of the same coin, where it's like the hello to the new and then the goodbye to like a certain era. So like to what you just said, like every time that your youngest hits a milestone, it's goodbye to that. You no longer, like, we still have right now, I still have other kids coming through those ages, right? Every time your youngest hits a new platform, that's the last of the
It's like the last time you see someone walk the first time, like the last time,
Yep.
All right, they're out of diapers. All right. But, I said this as we've got a kid transitioning to a new school. Like, we are truly in our house, like a very new era of like, all right, we are in the area of like, okay, people need to be 3 different places and there's only 2 of us.
Yeah.
Which is fine. But it's also like, we're also in the era of like, we have kids that are self-sustainable. And that is like, as crazy as it sounds, it's awesome. But at the same time, it's like, mentally, it's a transition of like, damn, dude, like that whole like diapers, all this stuff went by like so quick. And it's just, yeah, God forbid we never have another kid in diapers. Like at this point, I'm not ready to restart the finish line at 36 years old. So
no. Yeah, that's an interesting perspective. I was curious about that. My question is like, just may as well just continue this conversation. So like our oldest has come home with yearbooks or whatever the past couple years. Like we've had him get one, but like these, like, is it not a thing to sign yearbooks anymore?
Not that I'm aware of.
That's crazy to me.
It's nuts.
Like that was like they'd have like full assemblies for like yearbook signings when we were growing up.
It feels like a lost piece of history.
Yeah.
You got to sign a yearbook.
Yeah, that was the best.
Like, do you have kindergartners do it? Probably not. But like first on, like, should 100% be signing yearbooks. I don't know if it's like the way they order them and like they get them in kind of late. Yeah. I want to say our oldest daughter might have some yearbooks signed. I don't think it's quite what it used to be. Like when we were in school, I don't think it's like that anymore. But I think you do still have kids sign a little bit, but not. Dude, it used to be like you had to get everybody to sign it, right? Like leave a note.
Yeah.
That's how you found out the chicks that were into you. You're like, oh, she put a heart. And you'd live with that the rest of the summer. Like, next year's my year. You know what I mean? Kind of thing. Like, Vividly remember doing that with, I got a chance. You know what I mean? Like, she put a heart in here.
Right.
And then you start talking to the other dudes. You're like, dude, she put hearts in everybody's. Damn it! Like,
yeah. I noticed that. I was like, man, this sucks. Like, that feels like kind of like a quintessential school experience thing that's like just gone. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's a lost piece of the school life. Like, it is. I think our oldest daughter has had some people sign the yearbook. But I don't think it's as what it used to be. It really is not.
Oh, I hate that. I don't know. I just feel, like I said, it feels like a lost piece of school lore or something, you know?
By the way, in speaking of what I was just talking about, I did not know this. We never thought about it as dudes, but like, girls used to talk about how they were going to sign yearbooks for certain people. Like, that's a real thing. So I'm not far off. Or they would talk about like what's their generic signature going to be, and like what they put, and then like what they're going to put for the people that, like, the guys they might actually like. That never even crossed guys' mind, like, ever. It never crossed my mind.
No, I mean, yeah, I think it probably, the flip side of that is like guys would probably just care more about like what they received more than what they were putting in.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
just dudes are just out there signing autographs. Like,
yeah, we're practicing signing with our baseball number from our rec league team in the summer.
Oh, I used to practice my autograph, and
that's what I mean. Yeah.
Just in case, you never know.
Well, I'm gonna ask Susie about this one. I'm curious to hear if that's.
I guarantee she had a system. She probably had a system of like how she signed for certain people and how she signed for like a few, like, for sure.
Yeah, I might have to dig out my senior.
It's evil work.
That's nasty work for sure.
It's very nasty work.
I might have to dig out my yearbook senior year to see how she signed that one. We'll do a live test.
Questions.
We'll have a live test.
Yeah, follow up on this next week.
Yeah. Oh man.
God.
All right. Well, everybody enjoy the end of the school year. Memorial Day weekend coming up. Always the kickoff to summer. I mean, we're right in the thick of the good times.
Yeah, we leave for vacation Saturday. So I fully plan on doing this next week. So I will be in a condo right on the Love Course down in Barefoot Landing in Myrtle Beach, North Myrtle Beach. So it'll be a good setting for a show next week.
Okay, we'll sort out if it's Monday, that's fine. But if we need to do a different day, we can figure it out too. So we'll just see how that goes. But yeah, thank you all for listening. Enjoy Memorial Day weekend. Subscribe, rate, review the show, all that fun stuff. Follow us on social media at Back96Pack. I'm going to go rest my voice and my nose. So we'll see you guys next week. Cheers.
See ya. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Back 9 Six-Pack. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Back 9 Six-Pack for all your content needs. We'll see you guys next week. Cheers.